This is indeed a story of happily ever after between a man and his dog and the woman who by chance walked into their world some 20 years ago. This morning we introduce you to artist George Rodrigue's other half.
He was my boss. I worked for him for about 3 years before we started dating. Actually, before we had a conversation, because I was completely starstruck.
As with any true love story, on that very first day, it all began with a serious case of puppy love, in a manner of speaking.
And I walked into the gallery. It was one of the first, actually it was the first blue dog that he did where he had dropped the Cajun background. It's just a strong dog. It's all in oil. Very, very thick, goopy paint. I had to go touch it, which is, of course, a big no-no in a gallery, but I couldn't help it.
So it was on March 1st, 1997, the word was a resounding yes, as Wendy Wolf became Mrs. George Rodrigue, bringing to the marriage not an artist paintbrush, but a brand new canvas of creativity for both husband and wife.
It's nice to have so much in common with your spouse, I think. I always say that I was in love with George's art before I was in love with George, and I was in love with art before George's art.
Her passion is writing. She paints with words. She's currently under contract for a book. She writes a weekly newspaper column, and she's most proud of her blog, Musings of an Artist's Wife.
I laughed so hard because in the first few months, everybody kept asking me, what are you going to find to write about? Aren't you going to run out of things? And no one asked me that anymore, just like they never asked George, when are you going to stop painting the blue dog?
In her blog, Wendy might well introduce you to the winner of a student art scholarship funded by the George Rodrigue Foundation of the Arts. Or perhaps she's interviewing her husband regarding his latest inspiration. Or maybe, just maybe, it's Mardi Gras.
I've been riding with the Crew of Muses now for about 10 years. I started at the back of the bus, and tonight, February 16th, my sister and I are riding together on float number 1. We're on the sidewalk side. Come and see us. We're very excited. Am I riding my husband's coattails by having this blog and having these sorts of things that also bring attention to me? In a strange kind of way, yes, but I don't intend it that way. I know what I signed up for. I'm really happy being Mrs. George Rodrigue. I'm really happy being Wendy Rodrigue, which is one and the same to me.
And remember the blue dog that started it all? It sold long before George and Wendy married, but she loved it so much that George actually tracked it down, got it back, and gave it to her for their 5th wedding anniversary. Like I said, guys, happily ever after.
Diane, what a romantic gift.
It was amazing. And they will celebrate their 15th anniversary March 1. That's coming up soon.
Nicely done, Diane.
Thank you.